Hi, in my last video about JRPG Translator, I showed you how to set it up and do the basic things like asking for translations, these detailed explanations about Japanese sentences, or how to integrate it into Launchbox for a more seamless experience. Since then, I have added here this study library and an Anki integration. Explanations generated while playing can now be collected here in this library together with their original screenshots and reviewed after a game session. So you can open an explanation here, you can jump through the sections if you want, like here translation, detailed analysis, key vocabulary and so on, and they have a nice screenshot, so you can find maybe a sentence you did like while playing a game easier than before, since before they were already saved as text files. But I found it difficult to find sentences after playing a game I want to add to Anki, and I also found that copy pasting everything into Anki can get a little bit annoying over time. So you can also send full explanations or single vocabularies from this library here to Anki pretty easily now, automatically. So here we have this sentence and then this is the front. And on the back, you have also the screenshot for better context. And here, these are all links. So you can jump through all the sections and back to the top if you want, which is definitely much more convenient than before. So in this video, I'll show you how to set this up. And I want to show you my personal workflow for how I use this as an additional study tool for my Japanese study routines, from encountering Japanese dialogue in a game to reviewing it in the library and then sending it to Anki. And most of the things I will show you are Japanese to English, but if you want to use this tool and play Japanese games, then from Japanese to French, Spanish or whatever, you just have to use a different prompt here where you ask the models then for a different language, and everything will work just as fine. So there are no disadvantages if you want to use this in a different language. Okay, so just let me show you briefly again how it works while playing a game. So let's play a little bit here Legend of Heroes 2 on the PC 98. Which is actually a predecessor, if you don't know, of the Trails series, which itself is also part of the Legend of Heroes series. And I think this is the only game which, till this day, has never been translated into English. Now, there is not even a fan translation. So I'm glad I could finally beat this game using this tool a few weeks ago. So the way how I play JRPGs these days, if I want to also use it as a way to improve my Japanese and help me while studying, I first look at the original dialogue here and try to figure it out, and if I can't, then I generate a translation and I use it that at the top I first have a transcript which adds hiragana readings, also a little bit like furigana to kanji. And I see if maybe then this way I can figure it out. And if not, okay, no, then there is the translation. And if I then think, oh, this is actually a cool sentence I want in my Anki deck, or there is a cool word, then I generate an explanation, which takes a little bit longer because I asked the model to do a little bit more than just translating it, and I use a higher model to get a better quality. So usually while playing, it's finished now, I can easily bring it forward and I could read it now, but usually while playing then I don't bother and I go through all these after playing. So maybe let's say hi to Addon here again and generate then another translation and explanation, and wait until it's done. I mean, usually while playing, I generate maybe dozens of explanations, but of course you shouldn't add so many then daily or after playing then all the time to your Anki deck, or you get overwhelmed. But I can show you later a little bit how the tool also can help you to make it easier maybe then to find out which ones you want to add to your Anki deck and which ones not. Okay, so then let's go back to the study library. So here we are back in the library, and you can see here are the two explanations we just generated while playing Legend of Heroes 2. Maybe first a little bit about this library. It's basically a table, and you can do all the things you expect. You can set filters, you can hide, add, remove columns. For example, chapter is one you might find use in. This will be populated automatically with whatever you enter here. For example, if you want to have your explanations sorted also by chapters, you start playing a game, you can enter here the name of the first chapter, and every explanation that is then added here is automatically then tagged with this chapter name here. And once you read chapter 2, you can update it, but I don't use it right now, but something I thought might be useful sometimes. Speaker name is automatically here. You can filter by it if it is detected and present. Key grammar in the sentence is also here automatically in its own column. And you can open them by double clicking and jump here through the sections. And you can also, if you want to go now through all the vocabularies of all the explanations, you can then move through the other explanations and you stay here in the section, so might also be useful sometimes. And from here you can add it to Anki. I can add the full explanation, or if I'm here in the key vocabularies, I can also, for example, I can select here one vocabulary I like, and I can then choose here add selected vocabulary. And as you can see here on the front, it has automatically only the dictionary form. So it is removing here this hiragana reading that is added here by the model. And it has the hiragana reading here only on the back. And here is a screenshot. You can add it if you want to for better context. And what's also nice, I told myself we have an API key here for some very good AI models, so why not use it? So I can ask here to generate an example sentence. For example, if I want this word here in my Anki deck, but I like having an example sentence to read, then I can generate one. Then I ask the model to first give me it in normal Japanese. I first want to try to read it this way. Then in the second line, edit here hiragana readings and then the translation. And if you don't like the sentence, you can just click the button again and again and again, and until there's a sentence you like. So I think definitely something that could be useful. So usually when I play a game, I have, as I mentioned, then dozens of explanations here after a full session. And of course, you shouldn't add so many to your Anki deck every day. So what I also added here is a section here called Review Anki Candidates. And here you can see I asked the model already here to give me a rating. Not yet here for the vocabulary. What this is doing is I send these sentences and vocabularies then to the models, and I ask the models to tell me what it thinks, so to speak, which ones are maybe then interesting for me or not, by telling the model I'm a beginner, I'm intermediate, that's where I see myself right now, or I'm advanced. And then when I click here generate, it will generate recommendations then about which sentence and words I should add. So maybe we can see here the vocabularies, and I can generate this now. Takes maybe then a minute, but usually it should be faster. Yeah, it's already done. So what did it tell me? Yeah, for example, here, no, very basic word, just to go. It rated it here at 1 out of 5 because it says here extremely basic for an intermediate learner, which I would say is true. In case of the sentences, no, the 2 sentences we just had, it rated here 5 out of 5. Natural self-contained sentence, okay, or rich natural sentence. And here is a fun one. In Lunar the Silver Star on the Sega CD, I encountered here a maid who says about Jessica, who is one of the characters in the game, that she is always carrying a cat on her head. So, Neko o kabutte iru no yo. And the model here explains quite well that this is an idiom and means something like, yeah, she's pretending to be ladylike or pretending to be nice then in front of her father, also here Mel, this character. And because of this, the sentence here is rated 5 out of 5. So the reasoning is always here in the footer, and it says it contains the highly useful and memorable Japanese idiom neko or kabudo, used in a natural context, which I agree. So this is definitely a sentence I liked, and I added into my Anki deck. So if, like me, while playing, you always think, oh, this sentence is great, or this vocabulary might be great, and after playing you have here a long list of sentences and words and you struggle which ones to add to your Anki deck, this can definitely be a helpful tool. I wouldn't rely 100% on it. No, we are talking here about AI models, which are definitely getting better, but might make mistakes. But definitely I think something that can be useful. So if maybe then this sentence here from just playing the game, no, we add now to our Anki deck, then you can just open it, click here, add to Anki, now the full explanation. And yeah, with or without screenshots, let's do it with the screenshot, then say add to Anki. And that's it. Let's take maybe also then a word. Why not this one here, rated 5 out of 5. An example sentence. Yeah, why not? Yeah, and there you go. So here's the front, the sentence, all the hiragana readings, of course, removed. And on the back side, then here the links to all these sections, the original sentence, then here with the hiragana readings and the screenshot, which I think, yeah, is pretty cool that you can do it just automatically. And here the word. Also with the screenshot, and here example sentence, no, with and without hiragana readings, which yeah, I also think definitely useful. Now I use it now daily here in my study routines. If you want to do this, of course you need Anki then for Windows on your computer installed, and you need an add-on here called Anki Connect. I can add a link to this in the description. And I would recommend also here using background autosync, so that if Anki detects that you are adding new words and sentences, that it's automatically syncing into the cloud. Because otherwise, I can tell from experience, you will forget it all the time. And here minimize to tray, where I would also set this here to true, so that it automatically starts into the tray. So this way I added Anki here to my auto run app, so it starts automatically up with Windows, but it's always then hiding here in the tray, so that yeah, I can just start playing a game and use this tool, and I don't get this message that I forgot again to open Anki. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it what I wanted to show you. Maybe since I mentioned this tool is multilingual, maybe I can show you one last thing I'm thinking about right now. If you think an explanation here maybe is missing something, or you think it's not very good, you can always create here a new version, and you can also then change the model here, which is useful that maybe in a case there's a new Gemini or OpenAI model which might be better in creating better explanations, or you just want to give it a try, you can change it here, but you can also change the prompt. So why not change it now here to the prompt where I ask for German explanations, and then I just can click here, generate a new version. I mean, it's a little bit a higher model. I use the speedy models for translation while playing, and higher models here for the explanations to get good quality. So these take usually a little bit longer, but there we go. And yeah, here you have now an explanation here about this Japanese sentence in German. Jumping here through the sections here still works also in other languages, so no disadvantage there too. And if you add a new version, the one you had before is not overwritten. You can also then move back and forth here between all the versions, and in the library you can delete all the versions if you don't need them anymore. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I hope some of you find it useful. If you run into any problems, if you have any questions, or if you have some ideas that might be added here or might fit into this tool, just let me know if you like. And otherwise, yeah, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.